Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Probable Magic. This is episode number 52. We're going to be doing a Theros Swiss draft. It's going to be Theros draft number 20, which is pretty cool. Those of us in the United States just celebrated Thanksgiving, which means I ate far too much food and I'm having a little bit of heartburn and reflux, and hopefully that's not going to be picked up on the mic too badly, but I apologize in advance if it does. Also have a little bit of congestion from a cold I picked up from my daughter. So, such is life. We're going to press onward. Now, last episode we did a Theros draft in which I was particularly focusing on the lower part of my curve, 2s and 3s, and think that really helped. I'd like to give a little shout out to Kevin, who's been a recent faithful viewer and leaving some very good comments, and I really appreciate that. Don't fully agree with all of them, but take them very seriously, and I'm going to build on one of those tonight, which was about becoming married to colors too early. Now, I went back and reviewed the draft video from last draft, and I'm still pretty happy with the way that deck turned out. Pack 2 Pick 2 was just, in my opinion, not a very strong pack. And I took a Phalanx, drawing a blank, the black 2-drop 3/3 Phalanx something, second pick, and I'm still pretty happy with that pick. That being said, I know that getting committed to colors too early, has been a problem I've had in recent drafts. So rather than split hairs too much over whether or not it happened in that particular draft, I'm just going to accept that as something that is certainly an area I need to work on. Let's go ahead and jump into this Swiss queue while we're talking. It's only at 3 players. It will take a minute or two yet to fill. So that definitely is something I need to work on, and something I'm going to be consciously watching for tonight. And I think the way I'm going to do that is for, say, about the first 8 picks, which is the first pack going once all the way around the table, trying to be very open and not committing to a color. And what that means is we're going to be trying to take the strongest card in the pack and probably have some interesting discussions on what that is. Also be wanting to try to avoid cards that aren't splashable, because if we're taking the strongest card in the pack, we want to be splashing if we can. Now this gets you into what's splashable. Splashable is cards that, regardless of cost, it's my definition of splashable, that I'm happy playing turn 4 or later. Probably only have 1 mana of off color. So I don't know. Here there's a Stone Shock Giant, which is pretty strong. Or I could just take the Hopeful Eidolon. I'm going to take the Eidolon. The Giant might be stronger. Probably is. I know I'm biased against red, and I'm okay with that. Nykthos. that's something we could take just for value. That is worth something. I didn't have time to update this, so this is a week old, at which time Nykthos was going for 3 tickets. It's probably gone down. I don't know. Let's not worry about that tonight. I think here I'm just going to take the other Eidolon. Both of those cards I really like. I think they're both pretty powerful, and I'd be willing to splash either of those. You can bestow them onto anything. Return Phalanx, that was the card. Okay. What do we have here? Yeah. Or our plans could just go completely awry with packs like this that don't have much. So what do we like here? It's probably one of these. This is good in the right deck. This is pretty solid in most decks of black. It's just not a great pack. I could have taken the Temple. Yeah. Again, not a great pack. There's the Horizon Chimera, which is not super splashable because it's in 2 colors. Otherwise, there's Ordeal, can be okay. I guess we'll take Ordeal. Not feel happy about it. So best card in this pack, arguably Triton Tactics. It's a very strong trick. Otherwise, there's the Rage. That's a removal spell. Otherwise, there's not a lot. Yeah, I think Triton Tactics is stronger than. Here again, not great. Coordinated Assault is fine. God's Willing is pretty good. These 2 things are very deck specific. I guess I'll take God's Willing. Kind of a toss up between that and the Assault. It's definitely fair to say my plan went a little awry. guess I'll take a Triad of Fates here. It's probably either that or Sip. Pretty sure I like the Triad more than most people. It's slow and clunky, but I think it can be powerful. And what here? Shipwreck Singer, I think. Can be very powerful. Let's take him. So, we ran it out of the table once. We did pass up on some red. Don't feel like we saw a lot of good green. How do I feel about colors? I'd say we're definitely in black. Probably blue or white splashing the other. I guess I just want this centaur as a creature. Doing a good job of keeping the curve low, so that's something. Okay. Here it's between the benthic giant and the traveling philosopher. I guess the giant. No, I missed. Didn't take it in time. Lost in the labyrinth. I'm going to take the sable. I know I like the sable more than most people. It's just kind of a here. I guess I want a second centaur. I see the sable as a reliable 2-drop, especially if we're considering going into 3 colors. He's a 2 that we can put out regardless of what 2 lands we have. Really hope we don't see that guy in our deck. So, first pack in. Not the greatest, but not the worst. I think we want to consider being heavy black and kind of treating both blue and white as a splash. Lots of nice stuff in here. I think Fabled Hero is just strong enough that we want him. Although there's lots of good choices. I'd love a Dying Verdict. Certainly take Freaka's Cure. Sea God's Revenge. Wave Crash Triton. Chimera's a little iffy. Wouldn't mind another Phalanx, especially since it looks like we're going to have some blue. But this guy's very powerful. We're going to have at least some stuff to bestow on him. We got the tactics. I think we want him. Okay. We're already heavy black, and now we've got a double white. So I think I want to try to stay away from double blues. I think I'm going to take this centaur, Laguna Band, over a third return centaur. fill in the threes a little more. We're seeing some nice red. The ordeal, anyway. I like that ordeal. Humans, we have the triad, and that's about it. So I think I'll take a second Laguna band. Over the Pegasus. Not a huge Steed fan. I don't think anybody's a huge Steed fan. I mean, he fills a role, but I'll take this guy. Wow. More of those. We don't have a lot of removal yet, which is something to pay attention to. Don't really care about either of these Tritons. Kind of looking at these three. I think I'll just take Scourge Mark. Timurret's interesting. I don't think we're going to splash for him, though. Between these, I really don't like the Hippocamp. I think the Shipwreck Singer is powerful enough to want a second one over a random 2-3. Really like Scholar in this deck. Here we'll take the Minotaur. Ooh. Another Scholar or Vanquish the Foul. We're hurting on some removal. But I'm going to take the Scholar. I kind of want all the Scholars I can get. Dissolution or Phalanx. I'm going to take the Ray here. Wouldn't mind some more Phalanxes, but as I said, I'm hurting on some removal. And that kills some things. At least enchantment creatures. Twos and threes looking pretty good. Kind of a more aggressive deck. Could use a couple of good finishers. He's lousy in this deck. If any of you watched when let's take another of these guys. Maybe we'll just mill them with the return centaurs. If any of you watched interesting. Pegasus versus a Boon. Did pick up a couple more humans and scholars. I think I'll take the Boon. As I keep trying to say, if any of you watched when Marshall from Limited Resources did a stipulation draft for Loading Ready Run recently, where he had some specific rules on which creatures he was taking. This guy actually made his deck. Really hoping that won't not be the case here. Don't think it will. Because we're kind of at 23 right here. And we gotta be able to pick up something next pack. I mean, there's even a few more picks in this pack. Something next pack. Let's take Dark Betrayal here for the board. Take this guy. So the thing I'm really hurting on is removal and a good finisher or two. So if we could get a Divine Verdict or a sip of Hemlock, or even a couple more Baleful Eidolons, that would be nice. Definitely could just go black-white here. I think I want to play those Shipwreck Singers and probably the Triton Tactics. Probably not Lost in Labyrinth. And Cymede. Good creature that we're not going to play. But I think we'll just snatch up this Sentry, which is pretty good. Definitely would like a Unicorn in this deck, which certainly takes Harpies. Who knows, maybe the Philosophers will come around. Okay, some good stuff here. I would love a Grey Merchant in this deck, but I'm feeling nervous about the removal. I think I need to snatch up this Divine Verdict. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to do that. nice stuff here. Again, I think I'm going to snatch up the removal. I'd really love this Eidolon though. And even though this isn't the greatest removal, I think I like it being in my main color more than going into blue, or one of my main colors anyway, for the grip tide. I think. Yeah, I think so. So this pack's kind of bad. I don't know what I want. I guess I'll fail to pick and get the Sable. Sure. Evangel. But it's not great. I guess I'll take the third Scholar. Looks like we're going to gain a lot of life off of Scholars. Here's a choice: Sip of Hemlock or another Baleful Eidolon. Super tough call. Take the Sip. Now I have a Verdict, a Sip, and a Vanquish. And I feel a little better about the removal. Here's another interesting call. Bluntall Harpy versus the Lampad. Usually I just like the Harpy here. I'm wondering if I want the Lampad for getting through. Let's just take the Harpy. Is there any way I'm looking to play this Battle Priest? No. Nor the Ox. Nor any of this. We'll just cut the big guy. Hmm. Do we care about rescuing? I don't think so. What would we rescue? So we're going to take this guy. He's not great. If we're going to splash the blue, probably want an amulet. We'll take that. Don't think we're playing it. Yeah, keep seeing these guys over and over. Decorated Griffin. Sure. We've already got Artisan. Take the Fate. Don't think I'm playing that. Well, we can certainly make a deck out of this. Oops. Not what I meant to do. Come on. Being slow on me. So, I end up with 4 lands. That's kind of weird. We're definitely black and white, and we're going to have to think hard about the blue. With these scholars. So I think I want all that stuff. I certainly could just throw in Traveling Philosopher and call it good. Or either the Griffin or the Artisan. I'm all for picking up Sables where it makes sense, but I don't think we need them here. Don't have a lot of 2s, we got lots of 3s. So I feel like we'll be fine there. So I guess what's in contention? Alright, we take one of these guys. Not taking that. With 16 creatures, I feel like I want a creature. I guess those are the options. Shipwreck Singer. I like the singer. I feel like he's good, more good on the blue splash than on the black splash. Excuse me. If we're splashing singers, I kind of want both of them and the amulet. Then I have those plus blue for phalanx. That's pretty good. Means I got cut two things. Probably the Fellhide Minotaur. Maybe one of those guys. Or the Laguna Band. Either Fellhide Minotaur in either in one of the centaurs. Right, I cut those. What's that look like? Let's say 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which one of these do we want then? How many enchantments do we have? 1, 2, 3. Four, which means I'd probably rather do that. How's that? We could run like one island. Otherwise, we're cutting amulet. Do we want tactics then? Probably not. Otherwise, we're cutting those things, bringing in these two guys, and one of these. Probably just that. Which of these is better? I feel like the singers are more powerful. Kind of like that. I kind of like having the amulet. I think we're going to try that. Colors, pretty even between black and white. Probably run 8 and 8 in one island. What think you, Moto? 7 and 2 islands. Let's look at that. Gives us a better chance to get the singer. Jeopardizes fabled hero a little bit. We'll try it that way. This draft did not really go quite as hoped. Did not go quite as hoped. I I think I'm going to have to try this again with staying open, and maybe need to address my bias towards red in this set a little bit. Maybe I should have taken that Stone Shock Giant first pick. Yeah. It's not looking like a super powerful deck, although I don't think it's the worst. I think I got a strong curve. I think prioritizing removal in pack 3 paid off. And if we can tie down the ground early and look to just go along with Scholars and Triad and take out some big things with our removal, it might be alright. We'll see what happens. We'll see you in round 1.